All right, good morning traders, and welcome to the Bookmap live trading webinar. This is Bruce at Bookmap, in line with our education here, we have an educational course, and this is the follow-up to that educational course in the live market. The concept here, of course, is very simple. We have the educational course, and then learn about it in the live market so you can apply it. Without using hindsight education. We'll use forward-looking education. We'll read the current market using Bookmap, understand the order flow, and then give insight to where we think price is going to go. This is not live trading. This is live forward-looking analysis. These 3 days here, Monday, Tuesday, and Friday at 10 a.m. So that you can apply what you've learned. And these can work for any type of trading strategy. That's the key here. We don't want to dive into just one strategy, but we do offer live trading from JTrader, a stocks trader, and Scott Pulcini, a futures trader. They will trade live on Wednesdays and Thursdays, respectively. The reason that we offer this here is because you can learn how a specific trader is reading the order flow and their specific strategies. So we do the overall with the analysis, and then you have the specifics with these other traders here. That gives you a very complete education. Let's go through some disclosures, and then we'll jump right into the market. General disclosure: all Bookmap Limited materials, information, and presentations are for educational purposes only and should not be considered specific investment advice nor recommendations. Risk disclosure: trading futures, equities, and digital currencies involves substantial risk of loss and is not suitable for all investors. Past performance is not necessarily indicative of future results. All right, let's jump in. Let's look at the order flow. We'll look at the S&P E-mini and see what's going on. Zoom out a little bit here. Look at the high liquidity down here. Bigger picture here. We're looking back at yesterday, June 30th here. And look at the overnight. And around the London or European Open here, look at them bid up. I mean, my God. And this is just to point out, this is how you can use Bookmap and understand liquidity and use it on higher time frame. Okay, so several hours trade, for example. High liquidity in here. Now there was down here, this is East Coast time. US, so after 8 o'clock, you can see that there was liquidity down here, and then they really ramped up and they wanted to buy in front of these areas here. Look at the orange levels in here, very high liquidity that wants to buy at very much in front of this kind of 37.25 area here. So you can see the figure here, 37.50. They want to buy below it. And they're aggressive with it. They're clearly saying they want to buy, and market really kind of tests it maybe just a little bit here, but not much, and then it goes back up into these higher levels of liquidity on the offer. All right, so this is a good example of how to understand liquidity and use order flow here on a higher time frame. Okay, and look at the move to the upside. So, and they're still bidding underneath here. Right, so let's just zoom in for the current market and see what's going on. And again, it's still, see how fractal this is here? See that this information or this data here, high liquidity here, and then they're in front of it here. This is bullish. And now there's a difference here. I mean, they did trade into it here, as you guys can see. Whereas the other example, they didn't really quite trade into it very much. Here, after 9:30, they started to trade into it here. The sellers, the aggressive sellers, right into these limit buys. And we can see the reaction. All right. So this here is really not much different than understanding this here. Okay. Just want to show the fractal natures of these markets. We can go down to smaller time frames and see this as well. All right. But it's a pretty good example to get the point across. Yeah, here we are moving to the upside. Right now it's doing the mean thing back. Yeah, it is. I agree. It's coming back to retest these areas. I'm looking actually to see if we get maybe a bounce off of here. right where we are right now. Here's why. You know, we can look at structure, and let's just mark it up here. Okay, so here's our sideways consolidation structure here. Here is the move above it, and here's the retest to it right now. All right, so let's zoom in and let's see if this is going to continue on. Where is it going to go? We can look at high volume nodes in here as well. Okay, this just means lots of transactions down here, which means value, more or less, right? That's the concept of auction market theory, and understand that, well, this is where if a lot of people agreed upon price, it can trade there, and trade back at that area. Okay, right now we are starting to see a little bit of a bounce here, but you see some buyers coming in here. Okay, so what did it do down here? All right, well, it traded into this liquidity here at 37.90. Try it again. Here are our sellers. Buyers come in, and they're moving it back up. Now we are still in this time frame here, and I'm glad you brought this up, Dr. Mumu. So in this time frame here, we are still in a downtrend. Okay, we need to break up above here. Here's our move back up, you know, to 3,800 here, the figure. Do we see buyers up above this swing here? Not really, not yet. Okay, it's testing it. See how the sellers are coming in now? Okay, so and now let's see if can the sellers break this 95 area here. Let's see it. If they do, we're looking for a move right back down to 90 and 87 here. All right, so yeah, looks like look at the offer here, the reaction sellers. So let's see if we can get move back down into about 90 here, and maybe 87 as well. All right, all we did was test the high of this. We did break it slightly, and the sellers came in. So this is very range bound here at the moment. All right, so we can mark up these structures in here as well, and we're going to do kind of a sideways structure. Okay, like this. Okay, and it did break it, and it broke it here. However, it just can't. All it did was come up to the swing here. All right, so what we need to see it, and what we're curious on, is the retest back down to 90 here, or maybe a little bit lower, and we want to see what the order flow looks like down here. Okay, so here's our move back down. This is what we're looking for, just the move down to this 90 and maybe 87. All right, that was it. All right, that's already unfolded. Now what we want to understand is the structure here, the new structure that's created down here. All right, are we going to see this go into a sideways consolidation, and then a breakout or a breakdown? All right, we're going to read the order flow in this area here and start to understand that structure. Any questions on that? This is really important to understand. It's really important to understand market structure, and then the order flow within it. Okay, and the market structure is created by the order flow. There's no question about that. So that's actually the first step. This is exactly why, in fact, our education, if you go to our educational course on YouTube, let me show you. Let me show you where you can find it on YouTube. Scroll down, and then under bonus materials, educational course, view the playlist here. Here it is, part 1. This is why we dive into these kinds of details in here and understand them, because it is this here, and understanding the movement of price and the auction here, that is the order flow. And then it just is fractal from the very binary element of one buyer and one seller, and then it's just fractal all the way up to a monthly chart. Okay, so we're just understanding the aggressor behavior and where there is liquidity. So we can look at smaller structures in here. We can look at structures within structures. It doesn't really matter. But what we're looking at now on this time frame is we want to understand this structure here. Okay, so here come our sellers. We just made a lower high here, right? Now, so what we're looking for down here is, again, sellers at this 37.90. Here they are. Let's see them hit down to 87 and then 85. There we go. Okay, and pretty good selling. So let's see if we can get them moved further away from this area here, looking for 80. looking for the move down to 80. And there we go. Beautiful. Okay, I was just looking for that for right now, just 80. There's no reason to think any differently still. We're looking for 70. We're probably going to get a pullback in here at some point, but look at the offer, look at the reaction, and then liquidity's down here. Okay, now they're starting to front run a little bit the condition of the auction. They're starting to show a little bit of buying in front of it. Okay, so here's our pullback already, just to about 80. Okay, let's looking for actually a little bit more of a pullback here. And then I want to see if more sellers come in. Now, guys, we had covered this the other day. In fact, I can show you the webinar. And I want to make a point here because it's just, like I said, you see these moves again and again. It's just how the market works. Yeah, this one here, the directional move in order flow here. Watch this one. Okay, because we talked about directional moves. This is a directional move on this time frame, so we're still looking for it to go lower. We're just looking for a pullback and then for the move lower into 70 here. What's the distinction between here, this directional move? Well, it's not consolidation. It's moving away from that consolidation. And what we look for in a directional move like this are two things. Number one, heavy selling. Or heavy buying the opposite way, and then we're also looking for point moves. Okay, we need both for this to be sustained, basically. Even if we get both, we could see a move right back up here if the buyers come in hand over fist, and there's just as many buyers as sellers, or maybe even more buyers. We've seen it. However, in what we don't know that. What we do know is at this point here, we see lots of sellers come in. Okay, we saw it in real time here. Okay, look at the reference here, the graphical representation. Sellers. Look at these over here. Yeah, this is kind of similar here. There's kind of a little bit of spotty buying in here. Not too great though. But this is a directional. This is the beginning of that directional move. Okay, and we're still looking for it. We're looking for 80. Okay, it was a pretty easy call, and it happened immediately. That's why we look for these moves to happen immediately, because they're moving it away from this area here, this instrument is being reevaluated, and its price, its worth, its value, until it finds and explores an area where it starts to find buyers and sellers to again go into a sideways consolidation value area. This is just very basic auction market theory, but it works. This is how the market works. Here's a small consolidation, and then again another move and a break. We were looking for the move into 70, still looking for it. Okay, we looked for a small pullback to about 80, didn't quite get to 80, and that was it. Okay, so look at the buyers come in now. They're retesting where it broke from here. Likely it's a lot of buying, so I'm actually looking for them to now test 80. Okay, so just based on understanding these elements in this structure, that's why we look for these moves to unfold. Okay, putting the order flow together in this picture here. All right, so yeah, I don't know if we're going to quite get there. I like this buying. We need to see the bounce off of this one here. Why? Again, fractal markets, structure, break, pull back here, buyers up here. Okay, great. Let's see if they can break it up into 80 up here. And there we go. Almost. Still looking for it though. There we go. There's 80. All right, again, we're understanding these markets, and we're understanding the order flow within these markets. Okay, any questions on this? Hold on here, advanced webinar. Can you guys hear me? I should be in here fine. All right, like you should, yeah. It looks like everything's good in here. There's nobody talking. Jeff, I don't know if you finally got access. Oh yeah, thanks Owen. Looks like you helped out here. All clear. Thanks guys. Okay, good. All right. Sorry, I usually check in the beginning, but I know that's kind of annoying. But you know, I see a kind of a green ring around my my icon there, so I know I'm speaking, and I can see that also it's projecting. Okay, but sometimes, boy, I get in here and it's like 5 or 10 minutes go by, and it's like people are saying, "Is the audio on?" And yeah, it's kind of embarrassing. Okay. Thanks, Jeff. All right, so all's well. Okay, guys. So yeah, here's our move. This was the original move we're looking for into 70. Now, look, we were looking for the pullback due to the smaller time frame order flow, but the bigger picture was the move into 70. Well, it's not the big picture, but in this time frame, the move to 70 because of this directional move here. Understanding directional moves and then the order flow after those directional moves gives us a lot of insight. Okay, this here and going through this material in here, understanding these directional moves, understanding the elements here on the Bookmap chart, such as the volume and the liquidity and the structure, is really no different. Like we can look at, hold on, is that it? No, here. Okay, we can look at this here. I've got it. This is an S&P E-mini monthly chart. Okay, month just ended yesterday for June. This is the candle that we see here. Okay, in this structure here, we are clearly in an uptrend. All right, this goes back to 1998. Obviously, this is a continuation or perpetual contract that they have, which is nice. But we're clearly in an uptrend. All right, so in the bigger picture, so this pullback here, you know, we'd have to come back down into here, back in 2019 or so, and have to test some of these lows in here and trade and accept below some of these lows in here, to see kind of a bigger picture downtrend. You know, so you know we've got a long way to go if that's the case. All right, so you know this is still pretty, I mean, these are pretty big monthly green or red candles coming down, right? So obviously we see some change here in the market, and we can look for again directional moves here even on this monthly chart right here, and in here we have 3 months that are pretty good. Okay, another one up here, starting to move the market. So these sellers coming in, moving it away from this previous value area up here. Okay, we can talk about it and use the same analysis here on this monthly chart. Let's use a rectangle. All right, so this value area here and the move away from it. Where is it going? Well, we look for previous value areas or previous moves in the chart. So this little area in here makes sense that we're kind of testing it here. Okay, but let's move on from that one. Where else? Well, you know, I'd be looking for the move maybe back down into this area here on the monthly. Okay, outlining this area here and this swing down here, right? I would be looking for buyers to come in and to bounce off of this area here. So that would be around what is it, 3550 or so. Okay, and we're at 3800 right now. All right, so just getting an understanding again of you know, some of these areas. A bounce in here is you know, kind of to be anticipated. right in here. Okay, but it could be just a bounce. We need to kind of follow up maybe, and we might get a retest back up. It might trace all the way back up here to where it broke from. If that's the case, then we'd be looking for the move back to something like here, right? Just understanding these directional moves and the order flow on a monthly chart for this S&P. Same idea here. We're going to be using it in here. All right, so look at the buyers starting to come in now. This looks pretty strong, pretty powerful buying. All right, so let's get a move back up to the high here of this little swing here. We need to see buyers up here. Looks like we're going to get it. Let's see it now. We want to see the order book. Yeah, they're bidding up a little bit. We should get the pop up into 77 and 90 here. Let's take a look. Okay, one thing I don't like is don't see too much support here in the order book underneath. Okay, we want to see them bid up underneath, and we want to see the reaction to that order book under here, as the reaction is buyers here. Okay, so here's the retest to where it broke out from. Not getting much out of the order book right now, to be honest. Okay, and we're looking for buyers though. If this move is going to continue, we got to find our buyer. We got to find our support here. We got to find buyers, and we're really not right now. Here we go. Here's a little bit of support. All right, do we find buyers here at 72? If we do, we should likely come up and retest this swing here, 75. Okay, here's our support. Looking for our buyers, and let's see the move to 75. Okay, and look at their action up here at 75. They pulled. Okay, maybe we can get to 77 then. Okay, one of the things, like I said, we don't like in here is there's just a lack of liquidity in here. You see how it's dark around this area? So this is where you get, you know, some back and forth moves and some volatile moves because there's not a whole lot of liquidity in here. Okay, we should get our buyers here on this rotation. We should get our move into 77, maybe up into 80 here. Okay, so yeah, they're bidding up here, and we're finding it. Okay, again, no, watch this. We'll trade up here, and sellers can come in and hammer it right back down to 73. Okay, because it's dark in here. Anyway, we're putting together context of the order book historically here, understanding the intent of these traders at these areas here. All right, so there's a couple range bound trades in there you can take a look at. When you see this kind of, it's not doing what you want or what it's looking for, you know, you could look for the move or retracement back down. Okay, just be aware though that you might get caught in here and you'd have to exit pretty quickly. If the order book shows something in here and you get a lot of buyers, it's likely going to break out into these areas here. So that's risk management for those things, and that's something you'll have to take a look at in more depth. All right, so anyway, just shy of our 77 level in this liquidity here, and that's meaningful. We didn't find enough buyers up here. Okay, even with all this powerful buying. In fact, we're below all of this powerful buying. Okay, we can see sellers come in here and really try to squeeze these buyers, and then we can get a move into 65 instead. And if we do, watch it here. Okay, again, we're not seeing a whole lot on the offer here pressing, so buyers can come in and fill this area in. No, this is not tick by tick, Jonathan. This is we're looking at all price action here. It's not tick data, and you know, a tick is you're looking at like a transaction. And let me show you here. Like in Bookmap, we're showing everything. I mean, this kind of detail in the data is fantastic. This is really, I mean, Rhythmic's fantastic. Let's just make these transactions bigger. You'll see in here. like in here, right? Here's the edge. Best bid and offer, the same. No transactions, but we have a few updates in here in the order book. Okay, one here. Here's the bid is 177. Now here's 186. And then here again is down to 185. There's a slight color change right there. Okay. Not one transaction, not one tick occurred here. Okay. So this is a lot more information than tick data. I just want to make that point. When people talk about tick data and trying to, discern or define exactly what it is. We're really seeing a lot of detail in here. Any update in the order book, regardless of the tick, you're getting that information here. All right. Now this is Rhythmic and it's for CME Group futures. The transparency here is pretty good. In other markets, it depends. It depends on the data provider. It also depends on the exchange. Okay. All right. So let's take a look again here. And let's read this order flow. So we are now, here's our cash open, here's the swing, we're below it. Okay, so what looked like to be that strong breakout, etc., even from the overnight session, etc., all of this in here, now we're below this area here. It did not accept above here. So let's clear our structure drawing here, and let's take a look where price might go next. Okay, so we're just retesting this swing here. And we have the low of the day down here, so around 37.50, the low of at least the data I have in here from the overnight. So around 37.50 or so, a little bit below it. So what we're looking for here is this is a return back to the mean, as someone had commented there in YouTube. All right, we're through actually the high volume node for the session here, which is here. In fact, let's put POC on here. Okay, I want to show the POC not because I want to get into like volume profile type of stuff, but I just want to show value. And this is a value area. This is helpful though. This was a previous POC here for the overnight. It's paltry in comparison to the cash session. Cash session volume is incredible, but we can see though that sellers may try to retest this area down here at 55. So that there's ways of starting to understand and put together strategies here that you may consider. Okay, we're not a trade recommendation room like I described. All right, so we're still trending down. I'm looking again for sellers right in here. Let's see if we get them right here right now, and then boom, we should get the move into 60. Order book looks pretty good. They're on the offer here. We're finding our sellers, looking for the move. Let's see if we can get down to 61 and 60 here. Nice stop run there, 144. No, well, you can see I have a minute here between each vertical dotted line, Wilson. So you know, we're looking at I don't know, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 minutes or so of data. Okay, here's our move into 60. Okay, we were just looking for that. That's already unfolded. Okay, and we had, you know, it got a little kind of, you know, we never know, right? And there was kind of dark area in here, and then kind of a dark area in here where buyers could have filled it back in. They didn't really. They tried a little bit in here, but you know, we got continuation of the selling down into 60. Right now, we did have though some pieces in here before that. They're offering here at a lower level. We're finding sellers. The structure is negative. Lower highs, lower lows, sellers at the lower lows. Not too many buyers at these lower highs. There we got our structure, we got the volume data within it, and we also have our order book understanding. They're lowering the offer, okay, and then the target would be 60. And there's our move into 60. Okay, so we're just looking for that move to unfold, and that's it. And then you know, you can hold for a runner. If you got in up in these areas in here, well, you might have gotten stopped out if you move your price your stop to break even at that point. Okay, but you took some off here. It's really up to you how you want to manage it. You know, maybe you got in somewhere around in here looking for the break, took your partial profit at 60, and then you're looking for your stop above these swings in here. So, you know, somewhere up in here maybe, or depending on your time frame, maybe your stop is even up here, 70, 71. You know, these are all considerations depending on how much money you have and your time frame. What is your risk parameter, etc. Okay. So anyway, we can put, you know, this analysis here into a cohesive strategy of just understanding, you know, kind of like almost like Wyckoff in essence, looking for structure, markup, markdown, you know, distribution, and then you know, markdown, and then accumulation. Same concepts. It's really the same idea. And then from those concepts, you can develop your volume profile if you want, and then go through, you know, trading methodology using your volume profile. Okay. Again, it is the order flow though within these areas that is going to give the transparency or insights to what's happening within those methodologies, those structures. All right, so in fact, we can demo candlesticks here. Right, so let me throw on a candlestick chart here, and we can go through some candlestick patterns. Hold on. Let's look at a 1 minute candlestick chart. That's fine. And or we can look at a 5 minute. I don't really care. Let's look at a 1 minute, and let's make the body width a little bit more. There we go. All right. Okay, so your candlestick pattern. All right, well, what if you got buyers back up above here on this little move here, right? You'd be looking for it to close up here around 62. Okay, let's zoom in. So that would be reversal, right? Well, what we have to look for in the order flow then is we need a couple of different pieces. Number one is we need to get buyers up here. Okay, we need to see green dots up here. Okay, do we have that? No. We had a little bit here, but we were just looking at it right now, and we don't have that. Number two is we're looking for the order book on the bid to be, you know, pretty solid underneath here, with the intent to trade at these levels down here around 59, 58, maybe even higher. Do we have that? No. Okay, so we're back down here. Now I'm actually looking for the opposite. Sellers. Here, look at the offer here. See more liquidity on the offer. Looking for red dots though down here. Okay, don't see them. Now this guy actually traded. We actually found buyers here. Okay, so that's pretty interesting. That takes this sell. We didn't look to sell. We looked to sell down here. We didn't see something happen though. We looked to buy up here. We didn't see something happen. okay, by reading the order flow in here, and not getting caught up in the some of the unless the order flow gives us some insights here, we stay away. Okay, let's see if we get our sellers again here. There they are. Okay, now this is something where I don't like it. It's doing it. I'm looking for the sellers to break it down into 55, but I don't like it. I don't get the other piece here. There's a little bit of on the offer here, right? So even though this is doing it and this is what we were looking for, I would have stayed away from this. We're not seeing the intent of traders on the offer here. Okay, so yeah, that's that. I'd sit on my hands, wait till I see a higher probability event in here, or setup basically. Okay, look at the offer now, guys. Look at that. What's the reaction though? Buyers seem to be interested in that liquidity. Look at that. Okay, so I'm looking for these buyers to test these guys then at 59, 58 and a quarter, 59. Right, I want to see them on the offer here, and I want to see the reaction be buyers. If we get that, then I think we can get up here and get maybe a breakout. Okay, so and we're not right now. We're kind of rotating back and forth in here. In fact, we're getting the opposite. Okay, but this attraction to that buying was really interesting in here. Okay, that was something new we hadn't really seen yet. The buying liquidity here was repelling. The short-term high liquidity here was repelling buyers, and they seem to like it here. So interesting. Okay, well, they're up here again still if buyers are interested. Okay, here comes a bunch of buying, and that's always hard to read. This just came in out of the blue, and larger player comes in and just starts buying. Okay, well, yeah, they were attracted to this liquidity and traded up toward it here. Let's see if they can. Here's our second leg, and there was no interest up here to buy. So a rotation down does make some good sense here. Okay. Anyway, candlesticks aren't telling us much either right now. Yeah, just not seeing much right now. Buyers could whip it back up here very, very easily. Yeah, just still, this is just back and forth, guys. Not really seeing much. Something will open up here, though. They did pull this liquidity at 57 and a quarter. All right, there we go. Now we got a little bit of buying, but we're just at the top of the range here. Again, pretty dark in here on the bid, so we can see a move back down to the bottom of the range here. One thing to note is this kind of back and forth before the figure here and the high liquidity down here at 37.50. because this is really where it wants to go. Down here, we're just watching and looking at smaller time frame stuff within it. All right, so yeah, here's the this is a little telling in here in the candlestick and the volume here, guys. So again, not too much in the order book except for right now at 61, which just pulled. So we can discount that as well. But let's just take a look at these two elements here. Kind of missed it, but you know, saw it when it was starting to pull away here. The move here in your candlestick pattern, okay, well, is you're looking for a break of the range right up in here. So you're looking for buyers up here, lack of sellers down here, and you're starting to get them here. You're starting to get them. If we can get up a little bit higher and you get them, we should, you know, see them break the range and try to move it away. Remember, directional move it away and establish a new range outside of this range here. Okay, and then back up into high liquidity, when the high liquidity would be here around 64 to 65 there. Okay, so anyway, we're already retesting here at 59 where we just broke out from. Okay, and it seems to be accepting so far. Okay, so again, we can just mark this up. Consolidation, breakout, new range. All right, let's see if we get sellers down here again. Here. And it's pretty dark in here. They could come all the way back down to 54 here if we get them. Not seeing much here. I mean, like again, just this is just really back and forth in here. We're not getting much out of the order book at the moment, nor are we getting much out of the aggressor in here. There's not a whole lot of selling down here, not a whole lot of buying either. So again, no insight in this. You know, we've been covering this the last week or so. I mean, God, we've been covering it for years, but like when you don't see something specific for a directional move, you know, these can be really nice range bound ideas. Okay, it's just not my style to look for that. Is like, okay, well, I'm not sure, I'm going to buy it anyway because I'm at the bottom of the range, and then try to dump it off at the top of the range. Yeah, not really my style. I like to look and confirm something, not have confirmation by not having something, if that makes sense. Anyway, guys, I just wanted to show you know, a few different trading strategies and how to apply order flow to them. You know, we can just even start to develop out this kind of understanding of structure and volume within a strategy as well, and that can be its own strategy. Like I said, when we take a look at the let's get the candlesticks off. When we look at the that monthly chart, you know, you can start to devise these strategies like that. No doubt, no difference. You know, you'd be looking for that volume to pick up down here because you see the wicks, you see the buying wicks in here on the monthly below this swing here, which on this monthly chart is significant here, right? So around this 42.75 area here, that's the swing. That's where we found buyers. That's where we made higher highs. Tested it, buyers. Tested again, found some buyers. Look at the wicks. Tested again, found some buyers. And end of the month here, like we ended up higher. Okay, after all of this kind of fear in the markets. And then the next month after that, look at that. That's looking pretty bearish. Okay, so we found buyers in here. Now it closes down here, okay, into these areas where we found buyers. It's tested here, 1, 2, 3. This is its fourth time. So we get one more kind of back and forth here month. Actually, I shouldn't say that. That's not true. It did retest back down here and came back up. Here's on this month here in June, we got the follow through and the confirmation to the downside. Okay, all right, great. So, but where are we here? We're down into where we found buyers previously. Okay, we already covered that. So yeah, I would be looking for some buying in here. And on this monthly chart, maybe, I mean, we don't have a lot of data here in this monthly chart, but maybe a move back up to here, potentially. Okay, so keep that in mind on the monthly chart. Right, this idea and this structure here, now we're reading the order flow around here. All right, so yeah, here's and as I say that, we missed the move here to the upside. Guys, I hope you caught it, or you saw it here. Again, directional move starting to unfold here. Buyers at these higher levels in here, looking for the next level at 70. Okay, and now let's take a look here. They're on the bid at 70. That's good. Are we getting our buyers in here? Let's take a look. No. Okay, we need to rotate back up here and find our buyers at 70. If we do, then we can go to next levels of liquidity, 75, 77, back to previous point of control, or current point of control up here at 80, 82. Yeah, here's some buyers. Okay, what's the bid look like? Again, you know, kind of dark in there. Okay, kind of dark, but you know, here's again, we can go over that range bound strategy here. If we don't get sellers down here, then a move back up to here, 71. Okay, because it's pretty dark in here. We're just mildly finding sellers drive it lower here, though. All right, well, watch. You'll see buyers will come in. They'll move it back up. Probably back up to the top of the range, somewhere around 71, I imagine. Okay, that's based on the condition here. We're starting to find, yeah, we're starting to find our sellers, right? We're starting to find them in here, right in here, and then again here. That's when we're kind of looking for the break, right? So again, this is one of the reasons why I really don't like the range bound strategy of if we don't see something, because we did actually see a little something in here. Okay, but again, if we don't see anything in here, let's see what unfolds here. Not looking for sellers, not looking for them, looking for some buyers up here a little bit, and not looking for anything here on the offer, maybe some on the bid actually, and then we get a move back up, 66, maybe 69, maybe back to our 71 level, and not seeing it, not really seeing much at all here. This is just a kind of a grind lower. All right, high liquidity at 60 filled. Let's take a look now at the swing. This is where that breakout just occurred, bottom of the range here at least. So this was just a more like a, on the stop run is here, we can see. Well, no, I mean, Captain Price, yeah, yeah. Well, no, I mean, what we're looking here, because like there's such a there can be such a randomness to the market, but we're looking for the order flow to give us a direction, and we're going through scenarios of what it might look like, and what that scenario is going to look like for us to commit to a direction. Right, and if we have that, then we just have more likelihood for that direction to unfold. So it's about the scenarios and going through them. So we're looking for condition of buyers or sellers at a certain area, limit buy orders, and then also market buy orders, market sell orders, limit sell orders. Okay, within some of the swings in here, within the structure. Yeah, okay, look at the bid here. Look at a bit of buying in here. All right, let's see a quick move back up to the top of the range. Okay, there we go. All right, was just looking for that. I mean, it's a scalp of a couple points. But we can still get more buyers to come back up into 70 here. This is a good area too. I like it right here, right where we are, 66 or so. Okay, there's some structural areas in there. Okay, so let's see, Wilson, where does it tell you the degree of market orders hitting the offer or bid? It's the aggressors, the dots here. Okay, so green dot is market buy. Is that what you're asking? Red dot is market sell. The bigger the dot, the more the selling or more the buying. Okay, guys, almost to 70 here. McLoco, there you are. Where have you been? Good to see you back in here. Okay, 70 transacting, guys. This is where the sellers kind of dropped it here. So this let's just be realistic here. This was that kind of directional move. It's not the greatest example of it. That selling directional move we saw earlier, that was an easy read. This one's a little harder. This is not really, it's a nice string of buying, but we want to see, and the price movement is there, but we want to see big green dots pulling it away here. We start to get it here. So this, in a move to the top of the range, is pretty easy, or likelihood is higher. It would trade back up into around 64, 65 here. And then seeing this in here, likelihood is we'll see buyers continue to reach 70 or higher liquidity, and then we can see 72 here. We get the pullback here, and a deep one. The first one I would look for would be around here. Okay, this cluster, and then the breakout from that. So, and we can see it kind of went sideways, and we found a bit of buying in here. So there's our pullback there that we would anticipate. I would anticipate another one here, and we got a very, very mild one here. Right now, once we get sellers below these areas in here, look for the bottom of the range or the high volume node within this structure here, which would be somewhere around in here. Okay, so they came all the way back down to 60, which is the bottom of the range. Right, so just because we see the directional move, we do look for the support and the buyers to come in here. If you don't get that, watch the sellers blaze right through it. I mean, we've covered it for years, looking for that. It is here we go, another directional move, guys. Looking for buyers, looking for 77. And then also, I like this is strong buying. I'm looking for 80 and maybe 82 here. Okay, we're going to get a pullback in here, likely, because it's already come pretty far and pretty high already. First pullback will be here, just covering what we went through in hindsight. Here it is in real time. First pullback should be around here, 74. Let's see if we get buyers there. If we don't, sellers will likely bring it all the way back to 70 then. All right. So, all right. So now, do we get buyers back up above here, 70 at 75? Not yet. If we do, then the likelihood is higher for somewhere around 37.80 to 82. Okay, so going through two scenarios here that we just covered in hindsight. So it's great example here, going in real time. So let's see what we get. Do we get our sellers here? Boy, buyers can whip it right back up to 74.5 or 75 here very easily. So, and there they are. All right, okay, so top of this little range here, what's the bid look like? Do we get buyers? Yeah, a little bit. Let's see a little bit more here. It's not enough. All right, so yep, we're breaking it here. So now we're looking for this pullback to here, 70. Let's see if we get our buyers here. See how the sellers whip through it? All right, if we can get our buyers back up above 70 here. Just the order book isn't really helping us here. This is just aggressors, bashing it back and forth. Anyway, the scenario is this right here. Okay, so and we already had sellers below it, but now they're kind of bashing around this 70 level. Okay, if we get buyers back up above it on the bid, starting to pull on the offer, would be looking good. That scenario is certainly not unfolding as we can see. It's the opposite. They're on the offer. We see the aggressors. Okay, so this, we assumed that they're going to be supporting it here. This is a directional move. We'd be looking for a pullback. This one failed. It was kind of like the other one that we saw over here where they whipped it through here. Okay, so based on this, we noted how they come back down to the bottom of this range here. We'd be looking for the same here, bottom of this range, so down to here. That's where we'd be looking for it. Okay, around this 63 level here. All right, so let's see if we can get that to unfold. Okay, because they came through this area here where we always look for support in this area. Sellers went through it, and then they came through it again, and then now they're dropping it, looking for the move back down to the bottom of the range. Okay, and even that's not unfolding right now. I don't see them on the offer here. Okay, a little bit now. That's better. The extreme selling bringing you back. Okay, excellent, MC Loco. Yeah. I mean, that's. I mean, it's funny to you say that. Like we see like once the volatility starts to pick up, like a lot of traders come out of the woodwork, basically. Nothing great right now, guys. Nothing great. Again, I like that they're starting to pull here on the offer. So let's see if the sellers can, just for a small move, back down to here, 66, 65. Top of the range, looking for a move back down to the bottom of the range. Right, that was based on not having support on the bid here, right? And up here, not finding too many buyers, so looking for sellers to drive it back down to, yeah, 65 is the liquidity is where it really is. Yeah, the volatility is a double-edged sword. It can double or triple your account for sure. I can do the opposite though too. All right, let's see if we get sellers down here and then look for that bigger bottom of the range move we were talking about down to here, 63, right? Looking pretty good. Yeah. So, we're looking for the move here because of lack of buyers, a lack of bid for sellers to whip it down to, somewhere around here, around 65. They've already done that. I want to see if they can continue on, though, to the bottom of this swing in this range here. Okay, so looking for it in that scenario. And we got a nice little trend starting to pop up as well. And we should get our sellers right here, and they should be able to drive it into 63. Yeah, there they go. Maybe they can drive it down to 60. Anyway, guys, we've gone through many examples in here. And do you have any questions on some of these examples, like how to start to read this again? We can go through it again. Yeah, a pretty good day to show the order flow, Alex. I mean, we do this every session. Sometimes it's a hard read. Some of the periods today have been a hard read, and we knew it, and we said, well, we don't really know. Other times it was pretty simple. Looking for the scenario to unfold, and it did on many of those. Doesn't always. Something maybe comes in and disrupts the order flow. Anyway, Alex, to kind of get to your question, I mean, or kind of alluding to your question, I guess, alluding to something into your question, is we're going through many different examples in here. Like I said, though, this can be all moved into a cohesive trading strategy on its own, or it can integrate into any trading strategy, just like we're showing with candles. So we're back to our look at the kind of directional move here. Okay, now did it go a lot of price points? Not really. 3 in the S&P, we want to see like 4 or 5. But if we get buyers up here, we're looking for this directional move to continue. So we're starting to get them here. I just want to see more on the bid here. Then I would get involved and I would look for the move up into 77 and 80, which was our original, idea here, which failed here. We were looking for support here. We didn't get it. So we're looking for the move to the bottom of the range like previously, okay, that we saw over in this example. This is exactly the same example here as compared to here and the move. Let's take the heat map off for a moment and stops and icebergs just for a moment, just to clarify. Okay, so, and let me bring out the pen, I think, because we got a lot of stuff on the chart. All right. So this directional move here, okay, and then we anticipate the support here. It failed, so it came back down to the bottom of the range. Here, oops, maybe I can even get that in there. Oh, great. Okay. Here we saw the same thing. Okay, directional move, strong move. We're looking for support here. We didn't get it. Looking for bottom of the range. Again, directional move. Directional move again. We're looking for up here. Okay, which was our original target to begin with. Right, 80, 82, unfolding right now. All right, so it took a little while here, and look how it stops out people. People are getting stopped out on the way down, in here, in here, in here, and in here. All right, and then finally it's done it, which we were looking for. All right, but we would be looking for it here. Now in this move here, look, we got the pullback here and we got support here. Let's take a look at the order book in here and see what this looks like. Were they on the bid in this area here at 70? Let's take a look. And let's get rid of our drawings. Okay. So yeah, here's our directional move. And well, here they came right back down into here and we found sellers. We didn't even find enough sellers to get there. And then we have another retest in here. Again, sellers, no sellers, no sellers. This is very different than what we were looking at before. And then now look at the bid underneath in here. What's the reaction to this liquidity in here? We'd go higher. We'd be looking for the move to 77 at that point. All right. This is where it is different than those other two examples we went through. Okay. The other two examples, we came down here, we found sellers, they went through it, it kind of retested back up above and then blazed down to the bottom of the range. Okay, that's here. Directional move. We're looking for support. Look at this. Sellers drive it all the way back down quickly. That's the distinction. That's the difference. Okay, because we were looking for support in here. Okay, same one over here. Looking for support. Sellers, more sellers, bottom of the range. 60 liquidity here. All right, that can be all put into a cohesive trading strategy. Okay, let's look at this one here. All right, so we came back to POC. There's your mean reversion trade, a beautiful one, guys. Here we go. We're looking for support in here and then also a little bit lower here where they kind of moved it. Do we see any buyers in here? No. All right, so let's see. The bid is actually looking pretty good. They're bidding up here, so that's not bad, but we didn't get buyers yet. In fact, you can look for this is a low volume pullback here. It's kind of it's a dangerous position. I mean, like, because you can get whipped right back up here, but you would be looking for sellers in here, and then you'd be looking to enter sell side here around 78, maybe a little bit lower. Now you're looking for sellers and trade it right back down here, 75. Take some off and look for continuation. So anyway, that's a possible trading strategy as well. Yeah, let's see if we get it here. Okay, so it went a bit higher here. Let's see if we got to get sellers here, and we're not. We're simply not. Right? So you'd have to exit that one, and you'd have to exit it. Depends. Maybe if you really have a tight stop, you'd be stopped out here. Otherwise, I would, if I gave it a little bit more, I would have been stopped out here. I gave it a shot on a low volume pullback, looking for sellers to come in. After it trades back to the mean, sellers to come back in and trade back down low again. It didn't happen. Alex, what question, what program would I need to trade paper with Bookmap? Well, I mean, you can just get Bookmap Global, and it's $49 a month. You need to get a data feed as well, and it depends on what you trade. Okay, stocks, futures, crypto. When it misses your target by 2 ticks, it means everyone was thinking the same thing as you. Yeah, it's yeah, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole, Wilson, but I mean, there's a random move to this as well, and you can get knocked out very easily on those random moves. My point is, and what I like to do is it's kind of similar to JTrader, is using my order flow for the move to unfold now. Like right here, look, no sellers up here. I'm looking for sellers here, looking for the move to work now, right? So then I would get in sell side here. I'm looking for the move to come back down to about here, 77.5, maybe this 80 liquidity, but these guys will probably get out of the way. I'm looking for our sellers and looking for the drop, 77.5. My stop would be here, okay? Because this should work now. If it doesn't, I'll get stopped out for a small loss, and that's it. I'll look for the next one, and it should work now due to the scenario in the order flow we went through, and that's it. Keep it really simple, and your risk, yeah, you're going to get lots of stop losses, lots of break evens as well, but you'll learn order flow very, very quickly. Okay? And you'll also learn about taking partial profits along the way. JTrader said, I mean, he says a lot of interesting things. He was talking about how to take a loser Wednesday, which was awesome. He's learned how to take a loss. That's something that is golden. Learn to take a loss, and you'll learn how to take a winner, and then how to also scale out of some and protect your position. Scott does the same thing. Scott is actually a very different way of looking at it. He's looking at much higher time frames, and he's holding within a certain range based on his style and his he's basically looking at true ranges, average true ranges, and it shouldn't break those ranges. Therefore, he's placing a stop above them, and it should work out. If it didn't, fine. He looks for the next one. Okay. And also to look at some of these areas, like I said, we're looking like here. We had our exhaustion. We came back up here, traded up into point of control. Here's some buying. Here's some buying. No buying, lower high, looking for sellers in. It did trade down to the bottom of the range here at 80. I wanted to see 77. and that liquidity was down around here. Okay, based on what we were just looking for. That didn't work out, but you wouldn't have taken a big loss on it. Okay, you might have even taken a partial profit at 80 and put your stop at break even, and you'd have a small winner. All right, so anyway, and then now and they have to be kind of nimble and flexible on this. All right, so that didn't work out. These sellers didn't show up, and we got buyers back up above. This is a tough read, I think. Not so many buyers here, not so many buyers here, and then it really picks up here. Okay, and then we get our directional. It's not really such the directional moves. It's a lot of buying really quickly. This is going to be a stop run. It is, and a lot of buying again really quickly, and it's a stop run. Okay, look at this bid though. Look at that, guys. Look at this, between 87 to 84 on the bid. All right, so we'll see. You know, a lot of times they're bidding up, trying to get price. You know, larger players want to get filled up in here, and you'll see a lot of action on the bid, push it up into these areas, and then this just goes poof, all pulled, and look for the sellers to bring it back down to 80. Captain Price, yeah, you're looking at okay, yeah, you're answering his question. Okay. This is pretty, maybe you're not looking at the same Arafat, you're not looking at the same you know, time frame I am, and same you know, settings, etc. But yeah, I mean, I usually typically use the default settings in here. Guys, I want to cover something in here about these moves in here, like in understanding these stop runs in here. So, you know, if these are stop runs, then this isn't really, you know, we have to really kind of zoom in and check it out. But they're pretty big stop runs in here, you know, like 250, 250. But you can see how we can get down below those areas. Like this little pattern in here is almost exactly the same. We did get a bounce here, right? Here's our so-called directional move, which is a stop run. So it's not really new buying coming in here. This is new buying coming in here. A little stop run, but this is some new buying coming in, and we got a bounce off of this support area. Here they blaze through it. Here we're actually getting both. So it's supported, here's blaze through. Now we're looking for sellers to bring it back down to the bottom of these ranges. Okay, and back to point of control basically. All right, so let's see here. Okay, back up to this area here is really what we're kind of eyeing right here, 87.5. All right. Now, just based on structure alone, yeah, I'd be looking for some sellers to come in and try to move right back down to 85 here. Just based off of structure. Okay, and look at this kind of dirty order flow in here. Larger player comes in, 220 contracts, just throws it right in here. And then, yeah, here's our move to 85. We're almost there. And they're pulling here at 85, right? So sellers can even go back down lower, back down to 80 here, 81. Okay, there's our move, right? All right, so, you know, I made that comment there, and then the order flow actually kind of came in after that comment. Let's just review it quickly because, again, it was market structure. I was kind of had an idea for something to unfold, and then it did after the fact, but so you know that's something different. The market structure was looking really good. Like this was the stop run, the support, and then they blazed through it. Here's our pullback. On a pullback like this, you know, and we have all these buyers up, or we have a kind of empty buying up in here. I'm looking for it to at least come back down here to 85 and retest that from up here just on structure alone. And that would be something I wouldn't take. I wouldn't just be setting an order here and blindly. Once I see this come in and then sellers, which happen very quickly and it'd be hard to get a hold of, then it looks much more likely that we're back up to the structure. We're not finding buyers up here, high liquidity on the offer, sellers looking for 85, and then they actually pull. So then we're looking for bottom of the range, like 80, 81, 82, 80 levels. Stops and icebergs, sure, we'll put them back on. I had them on earlier. Just wanted to demo something. Yeah, thanks guys for helping out Alex there. Thank you, Alex. Let's jump back to Discord. Nothing in Discord. Okay. Let's zoom out. Let's get our bigger picture here. It's been all over the place today. It was looking really nice here. Bigger picture from the overnight. We started off the webinar with all of this buying in the London or European Open here. They were down here. Yeah, I mean, we can see them at some of these other levels, but look at this in here. And the reaction was we came back up to the top of the range. 930 cash open trade up above it here, and then it fell out of bed here. Again, these are the same ideas. Like we're looking for, we'd be looking for support in here, right? This is the same concept, just on the higher time frame. We did get a bounce here. Look at the sellers come back in. This is where we're looking for follow through, and we can go to the bottom of the range. Okay, it did that and then some, and then all the way back down, and then we had some reads in here as well for some of these moves up and back. So let's see here. Thanks, Madden. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I can see that. I've been doing this for a long time, covering order flow in general, and I want to bring this into a more cohesive trading strategy for you guys. I've always avoided this on purpose, and I know that can lead to some confusion, but I don't want to pigeonhole Bookmap or ourselves in here and limit ourselves into one trading strategy, and I think that would be wrong. There are many different ways to trade. That's why we have Jay Trader, we have Scott, we have Tom B with a very specific style of trading, and the Bookmap education is for all styles of trading. It's just order flow. Order flow will support any style of trading, even if it's an indicator like MACD or cumulative volume delta. We could go over that, and put CVD on the bottom of the screen here. Get rid of stops and icebergs in the bottom of the screen. And if you have divergence, or if you don't, have negative divergence, okay, what does the order flow tell you? So is this giving you a signal or not? That's the way to use it and look at it, just the way we were looking at candles, and looking for the order flow around those candlestick patterns. Okay, you do the same thing here on your indicator. Okay, so you got to read the order flow. that's where you're going to get you know, a real enhancement in your trading. You should. All right, and that's what we're here for. All right, but yeah, maybe I can put this, I'll, you know, think about this and put it into much more kind of cohesive strategy for you guys. Very, very simple stuff, though. And you don't need anything advanced. If it's going to be based on our educational course, so if you might want to check that out. Let me show you where that is again. It is here. I can put the link into YouTube for you, or also in Discord. Here you go in Discord, and here it is in YouTube. I know you guys in Discord have seen this many times over. Guys, you might, and on YouTube, you might want to consider jumping over into our Discord. Really nice community over there. Very supportive and great group of traders. Great insights on a lot of different things. All right, so yeah, if you can, if you like this webinar, please give me a thumbs up in there on YouTube. That's very, very helpful for us, and allows us to do more and more of these kinds of webinars, and you know, even bring other traders in, more traders. So yeah, give us a like. We do look at that and engage that. And then yeah, you know, add your comments in here, and we'll be back on let's see, no, Monday's a holiday, and actually I'm away next week, so there's no webinar on Tuesday. I do have someone though to help out with Scott and JTrader on Wednesdays and Thursdays, and I'm not sure if I'll be back on Friday or not. So yeah, next week's holiday on Monday, and we'll have to see about Friday. Tom B will be in though Monday through Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. okay, to 2:30 p.m. All right, so he's changed the hours up a bit. It's still 3 hours of analysis. This is a lot. And it's incredible what Tom has done and what he's given to the Bookmap community. So very, very appreciative and thankful. So guys, come to that one, 11:30 to 2:30 p.m. Monday through Wednesday. Really good stuff in there, volume profile stuff. You can learn in depth about volume profile and order flow together. All right, so we got that, and we'll get more, you know, more and more involved in as this quarter kicks off here. This third quarter kicks off. Yep. So yeah, thank you guys. Thanks for the likes in YouTube there. Let's call it a day. We'll wrap it up. Let's see. Nothing else to go over. Yeah. Thanks for coming, everybody, and have a good weekend. Happy 4th here in the States, and we'll catch up with you, yeah, kind of next week. But look for the webinar with Tom B and then JTrader and Scott Wednesday and Thursday. Okay. Thanks, guys. Yeah, take care. Bye-bye.